quit my high school when I was 17 and I went to Australia. That's how big influence he gave me. And I went to film school hoping that everybody was like me, but then I found out I was the only one. Like, this is the land of Mad Max and nobody wants to make a movie like that. And so I was an outsider there. But yeah, I mean, I just have just pure respect for George Miller. I mean, nobody, even I didn't believe that, at the age of 70, he can do something better. He come up with the best work of his career with Mad Max Fury Road. And I hope that I can be like that. When I turn into 70, I still make like verses, and that's like much better than my original verses. I'm trying every day, and I hope that I reach that level. Mick Garris, the producer, and he's also been my friend for a long time, and he knows me and he knows the horror genre, and he's the one lining up all these directors. So of course I had my own ideas, and I have a lot of ideas from other writers, but the Mick told me that I think you and Sandra will be the perfect match, and he was right. So when I started talking with Sandra and trading back and forth ideas, and she sent me this sheet, and I always want to challenge myself. So when I read the first synopsis of a sheet, I thought that this is something that I would never come up with on my own, and I thought that's very interesting. And it is religious, and it's very twisted and turned into something really bloody at the end, and it's very delicate and kind of dangerous to step into that zone. But I kind of understand my mission, so and when I look around at the other directors, I love them and I respect them and I know their style. I didn't know exactly what they're going to do, but I kind of knew, and I just knew that this is something that other directors wouldn't do, and probably Mick wants me to step into that danger zone and do something crazy. That's what I did. Music is very important, because I'm myself a hardcore rock fan, prog rock fan. I listen to music all the time, and the main reason I live in LA for 10 years is there's always a concert. So I love music, and yes, picture is very important, story is very important, performance is very important, but to maximize all that visual, music is very important for me. So and again, I always try to challenge myself and do something that I've never done before. So when I read the script, immediately I decided to bring out my influence from Italian horror, and which I never used before. So okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the Italian giallo style, with this crazy color and just bombastic music, So I talked to my composer, and I said, this one I want to go really this Italian prog rock, like Goblin, but I don't want to mimic everything, which is too easy. So it sounds like Italian prog rock, but I want to do something very different. So he composed the music roughly. Then we basically formed a band, prog rock band, and we invite all the members, drum, bass, guitar, keyboard into the studio, and we play the rough cut of the movie, and I said, just play it, improvise it, match to the picture, and that's what they did. So I live recorded everything basically, which turned out great, and it gave me good reason, because the final minute, that's what the producer is gonna say, right? Can you just take out a minute from your segment? So I said, I cannot do that because it's a live music. I don't want to destroy the groove, so I'm sorry, but I cannot do that. So yeah, it turns out great. That's kind of my signature. I did that kind of thing. It was my very first movie, Versus. So some part of me loves doing that kind of thing, which is, I think, influence from Sam Raimi, obviously. and especially this type of story, this machine, the segment I directed, because of the delicate matter, we touching, but in the end, I just say that it's only a movie. It's entertainment, and especially when it comes to horror movie, I think there's no taboo. I mean, if you trap yourself with kind of like rules and the morality, it's very boring. So I really want to destroy all the barrier and do full blast. And because of the delicate zone we're stepping in, I don't really want to do realistic violence, which is easy to do. To me, doing this over the top, crazy samurai-ish, splatter and action, which makes it obviously this is an entertainment horror movie. I'm not trying to do the super realistic, disturbing violence. That is not my style. My style is like, everything I do, action or horror or whatever, it's just entertainment, to make audience, cheer and, give some kind of energy. I'm trying to give energy to audience in my own twisted way.
You should have run while you had the chance.
I quit high school. I even quit high school when I was 17. I didn't graduate any, even high school. I didn't go to university, and I went to film school in Australia. But after a few months, I realized that it's much better to watch Masters movie, like George Miller movie, James Cameron movie, 100 times. That's much better than going to school every day. But that's only my experience, and I believe that there are some good, teacher out there. So, it's all about, what kind of school, what kind of teacher, and what exactly do you want to do. I learned filmmaking, by doing it myself. At the very beginning, it was only me and my like one or two of my friends. Then we started shooting. I was living in this tiny apartment, and what can we do in this tiny apartment? And it's just you and I, and we have the video camera. So I shoot you, you shoot me. If we need a two shot, we have to put the camera, and we only have this one room. Now what can we do? And we shot like hundreds of just crazy comedy, horror comedy thing, which doesn't make sense at all. But I believe that by doing that, I'm very good in doing this one situation kind of movie. Versus was kind of like that, and Downrange was kind of like that, and even this Machine is kind of like that. It's always, this one situation, locked up location, and it's how to create the drama, intense excitement in this limited situation. I believe that I learned that technique by doing that when I was nobody, like 20 years ago. So, I don't deny the film school, but the best way to learn filmmaking is just do it. These days it's much easier than my time, You have the iPhone, you can do it. So, go ahead and start making. No matter how trashy it is, you will get better.
I'm the projectionist. The curator of 100 years of nightmares. Trapped in a silver screen that never forgets. Welcome to my nightmare.
Come and get me, bitch!